This is the incredible story of the man from Taured. In 1950, a mysterious man checked into a hotel in Tokyo, Japan. He spoke perfect Japanese and had a slight tan, which indicated he'd recently come from a hot climate. The man then gave his name and address, but when the hotel clerk checked the address, it didn't exist. It was a non-existent country called Taured. The man checked out 2 days later, still speaking perfect Japanese, and was never seen again. But the story doesn't end there. Between 1950 and 1964, this same man would check into hotels across Japan. Every time he did, he would give a different name and a different address. But they were all from the same non-existent country of Taured. The last place he was ever seen was in Osaka. He checked into a hotel there in 1964 and was never seen again. So who was this man, and why did he keep lying about where he was from? The truth may shock you. Could the man have been from a country that doesn't exist today? If you think about it, it's not impossible. Countries can disappear, like when the government of Tuvalu sank beneath the ocean, or when Atlantis got destroyed by a tsunami. So maybe the man was from a country we don't know about because it's underwater now? But that's just a theory. The more likely explanation is that the man was suffering from a rare medical condition. This is called autosomal dominant cerebellar ataxia, or a DCA. People with this condition lose their sense of identity and develop false memories. They often believe they are someone else and may even adopt a new personality. Some people with a DCA also suffer from amnesia, which could explain why the man kept giving different names when he checked into hotels. His real name may have been Toru, and he really was from a place called Taured. But over time, his memory faded. He forgot who he was and what his real country looked like. That's why he kept describing it differently each time he was asked about it. It would also explain why the country of Taured didn't exist. When you have a DCA, your memories become jumbled and inaccurate. You may remember things that never happened and forget other important events. Maybe Toru really was from Taured, but over time his mind filled in the gaps. As his memories faded, he imagined an entire country that didn't actually exist. But how did Toru get to Japan? Why did he keep returning to the country if he couldn't remember anything else about himself? Unfortunately, we don't know. There's one other thing that doesn't make sense either. If Toru was suffering from a DCA, why did he stop checking into hotels in 1964? Did he die? Was he put into a mental hospital? Or was he finally able to get his life back on track? We'll never know. One thing's for sure, though. When he checked into those hotels, he wasn't lying about his accent. He really did come from a hot climate, and he really was a skilled chef. All of the hotel clerks remember him being a very polite and well-mannered guest. It was only after he left that they realized something was wrong. Now here's where things take a turn for the strange. In total, there were 12 men who checked into Japanese hotels between 1950 and 1964, claiming to be from Taured. Could these men all have been suffering from the same rare disease? Were they all remembering fragments of their past and filling in the blanks with imaginary details? Or was there something more sinister going on? Maybe they were all spies sent by a secret organization. They infiltrated Japan and assumed new identities. The spies may have been trying to steal valuable information or even plant bombs. Their mission could have been compromised, causing them to flee to other countries. But why did they all claim to be from Taured? Was it a code? Was Taured a fake country that only existed in their minds? Or did they all come from a real place that's since been wiped off the map? Unfortunately, we don't have the answer. The Japanese government has never released any further details about the case. What's clear is that the men were telling the truth about some things, but lying about others. They really did have a hard time remembering who they were, but it's possible that their memories weren't completely gone. They probably knew their real names and where they came from, but they chose to hide it. Why? There's only one way to find out. We'll have to travel to Japan and start asking questions. Hey, wait a second. Are you asking me to go to Japan? But I don't know anything about Japan. I've never been there before. I don't speak Japanese. But most importantly, I'm not a millionaire. I can't just up and leave whenever I want to. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you guys subscribe, then I'll consider going to Japan. But you're gonna have to hurry it up. I don't have much time. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.